Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Right now, there is an absolutely massive, unprecedented investment unfolding in India, and we're going to break down exactly what it means for the future. We're talking about a commitment so incredibly large, it literally has the potential to completely reshape the entire nation's digital landscape. But you might be wondering, what exactly is a 3 lakh crore bed actually for? Well, interestingly enough, it's easier to start with what this money is not for. We aren't talking about a sprawling new web of highways. We're not talking about huge new international airports or massive manufacturing factories. Instead, this staggering amount of capital is being poured into buildings that most of us will never, ever step foot inside. 3 trillion rupees. To put that in perspective, that equates to a staggering 30 billion US dollars. This colossal commitment was recently announced by a company called AirTrunk, which is backed by the global investment giant Blackstone. And their goal? They want to build 5 gigawatts of capacity in India by the year 2030. Make no mistake, this is officially one of the largest single digital infrastructure commitments in India's entire history. So let's take a look inside the digital warehouse. What exactly is a data center anyway? Well, the absolute best way to understand it is to just picture a massive warehouse. But instead of storing physical goods, pallets, or retail inventory, it stores racks and racks of servers, high-speed networking equipment, digital storage systems, and all that advanced AI computing hardware. Think about your daily routine for a second. Every single time you open Instagram to scroll, watch a high-def YouTube video, ask ChatGPT a complex question, send money instantly through a UPI transaction, or hop on a Microsoft Teams call, your data has to be processed somewhere, right? Well, that somewhere is inside these invisible buildings. Literally every single digital action you take runs right through one of these centers. And the physical reality of supporting all of those digital actions? It's completely mind-boggling. Because these servers have to operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without fail, their power and cooling demands are off the charts. We're talking about facilities requiring massive backup generators, intense physical security, and heavy-duty continuous cooling systems. A single building can literally consume as much electricity as an entire small city. It's absolutely astounding when you really think about it. Now let's talk about the AI arms race. You see, the world is currently locked in an invisible artificial intelligence arms race. The biggest tech giants on the planet, companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, and OpenAI, they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on compute infrastructure. Why? Because training and running these AI models requires an astronomical amount of computing power. Just training one large AI model can chew up millions of dollars worth of electricity and resources before it's even launched to the public. If you think back to the massive infrastructure build-out during the telecom boom of the 1990s, or that explosion of fiber cables during the internet boom of the 2000s, well, we're seeing the exact same global pattern playing out right now. Except this time around, the primary fuel driving the whole explosion is AI. So who exactly is AirTrunk? While they might not be a household name to you or me, inside the industry, AirTrunk is an absolute giant in the Asia-Pacific hyperscale space. They were founded in Australia, and their customers include the world's major cloud providers. And what's super important to note here is their recent acquisition by the global investment giant Blackstone. This was actually one of the largest digital infrastructure transactions ever. You know the old saying, when you want to know where the future is heading, follow the money. Blackstone isn't throwing down billions just because they like big commercial buildings. They're making this move because they firmly believe the entire future of the global digital economy relies on these specific centers. Let's break down AirTrunk's specific capacity goal for 2030, which is 5 gigawatts. Now, I know 5 gigawatts sounds like a really abstract technical term, but to put that into perspective, that is enough electricity to power millions of homes. To achieve this kind of incredible scale, we aren't just talking about erecting a single building. We're talking about building an entire ecosystem from the ground up. This requires vast parcels of land, huge power substations, massive underground fiber networks, and absolutely critical renewable energy agreements. Which brings us to the big question. Why choose India? Why is this massive ecosystem-level investment specifically going to India instead of other established tech hubs like Singapore, Japan, or somewhere in Europe? Well, it turns out there's a perfect storm of 5 converging factors making India the absolute ideal global hub right now. First off, you have an immense internet base of over 900 million users constantly consuming video and cloud services. Second, AI adoption is just exploding across the nation. Third, we're seeing unprecedented, rapid growth in the digital economy, heavily fueled by massive public systems like UPI, Aadhaar, and ONDC. Fourth, there's incredibly strong government support, with pro-investment policies specifically for electronics and AI infrastructure. And finally, India has a highly strategic geographic location, acting as the perfect hub to connect the Middle East, Europe, and Southeast Asia.
Okay, let's look at the real estate boom in disguise.
Here is a fascinating hidden truth that a lot of people miss, but it fundamentally changes how you view this entire industry. Data centers are actually real estate projects first. Long before a single blinking server is ever installed, companies have to acquire hundreds of acres of highly specific suitable land. So this tech boom is, in reality, one of the most massive corporate real estate, land acquisition, and project management opportunities of our modern era. And the site selection process itself, it's incredibly complex and strict. It obviously starts with massive land acquisition, but then you have to navigate an absolute maze of regulatory approvals and environmental risk assessments. After that comes the heavy infrastructure setup, which means laying miles and miles of underground fiber connectivity. And finally, you have to secure massive, guaranteed utilities, specifically uninterrupted power and immense water reserves for those heavy-duty cooling systems we talked about earlier. Because of these really strict environmental and infrastructural variables, very specific Indian cities have already emerged as major hubs for these developments. Cities like Chennai, Mumbai, and Hyderabad are currently leading the charge, mainly because they provide the incredibly specific, favorable conditions required to bring these hundreds of acres projects to life. And if we focus specifically on Chennai, we can see exactly why it's winning so big in this sector. Chennai offers a truly unique combination of advantages. It has incredibly strong submarine cable connectivity, linking it directly to the rest of the world, a highly reliable power infrastructure, a large availability of suitable land, and a highly strategic coastal location. Because of all these converging factors, Chennai is rapidly becoming one of Asia's most important upcoming digital infrastructure hubs. All of this really brings to mind a profound realization in the industry. The companies and cities that build this infrastructure today may become the biggest beneficiaries of tomorrow's digital economy. The ultimate takeaway for you here is that the next major infrastructure boom isn't going to be physical roads, ports, or airports. It is entirely digital. In the AI era, data centers are the new foundational infrastructure, and the early movers, both the corporations and the cities, are going to win big. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. The question is no longer whether India will become a global digital powerhouse. The real question is how quickly it's going to happen. AirTrunk's 3 lakh crore bet is a massive, historic vote of confidence in India's AI future and its booming digital economy. If you found this explainer insightful and enjoyed unpacking this massive growth story with me today, please share this explainer with others who are fascinated by the intersection of tech, real estate, and global infrastructure. Keep learning, and I will see you next time.